Hi there, this is Art and Such with my Rainbow Loom tutorial for Spectra for Monster High. And for this tutorial, you're going to need some gray or silver bands, some black bands, white bands, pink, and purple or blue from the hair for the hair. For the eyes, I'm going to use a couple of turquoise beads. You're welcome to use bands or white beads with pupils drawn on. I'm also using some little silver beads for the belts, and that can be done with bands as well. I'll show you how to make those a little later on. We're going to make a couple of changes from what you see here. Just basically I want to thicken the hair a little bit and lengthen the torso, and I'll give you the option if you want to make the legs thinner. There's a way for you to do that as well. So other supplies, you'll want 1 or 2 hooks, a piece of thin thread, wire, or dental floss if you are using beads, your loom in the offset configuration, and a couple of C-clips, and I think we're ready to start. So let's make the arms together. And for the arms we're using white, and these are just going to be, it's going to be a chain of doubled over single bands, and each chain will have 11 in it. So to do this, you take your holding hook and a single weight, wrap it 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Take a single weight, stretch it out, twist it, pull it back onto itself, and now you have a doubled over band. Put it on the end of your hook and slide your wrapped band over. Put the other end back, and we'll do this again. We'll take a single, stretch it, double it over, and slide, transfer the bands that are on the hook. So that makes 2 links in the chain, and we want a total of 11, so we're going to keep going here a little bit faster. You can always pause if you need a little more time here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Okay, so that's one arm, and we're going to need to make a second one for the other side. Push this down on your hook a little bit, or put it on a hook on the side, and we're going to repeat this all. So single one wrapped about 4 times. Hold on to 11 doubled over singles in the chain. 1, and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Okay, again, you can slide this down or put it on a separate hook if you want more space. We're going to make the legs, and I'm using my jelly pink for the boots or the shoes. You're welcome to try a different shade if you have another pink or purple you like. We're going to take a single and wrap it on about 3 or 4 times. We're going to pull this onto 2 single pinks, so put them together, put them on the end, and pull your wrapped band over. And we'll put the other end back, and then we're going to take a single pink, wrap it at the end of the hook, 1, 2, 3, 4, and slide the closer side of your first piece over so that your new wrapped one is sitting in the middle. We're going to put this onto, all of this onto 2 more single bands, and replace. Just want to try and keep this wrapped band in the middle still. doesn't want to go there. Okay. Again, a single, put it on the end, wrap it 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and bring the nearer side over the wrapped band so it sits in the middle again. We're going to do this one more time, 2 bands through. Put the other end on. You can see my wrapped band is moving over, so I'm just going to pinch this back to the middle. And last time, a single band, wrapped 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Pull the end over, and now we're going to put this onto 2 white bands. And the rest of our leg is going to be white, and I'll make a note here. I said at the beginning you do have the option of making your legs a little skinnier, and to do that what you're going to do is put use your whites but have a doubled over single, which looks like this. Stretch it, twist it over, instead of the double bands that I'm going to use to make the thicker leg. So if you are using doubled over bands, you are going to need a little bit more, and going by the arm, I would say about 10 of them to get the length you want. So your legs can be as skinny as the arms, or you can stick with me and use double bands instead of doubled over bands, which means 2 each time. And in that case, you're going to need a total of 7 sets. So that was 1, and this is 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And the other leg we're going to make the same way. So put it on a holding hook or leave it where it is, and we're just going to repeat all of this. Single wrapped 1, 2, 3, 4 times, pulled onto double bands. Take another one, single, wrap it on the end, 1, 2, 3, 4 times, pull one side of your first piece over so the wrapped one is in the middle. Pull all of this onto 2 bands. Replace a single wrapped 1, 2, 3, 4 times on the end. Pull the first part of your boot over. Pull this onto 2 singles. Trying really hard to keep this in the right order so it doesn't slip around. Alright, and I believe we need one more. Okay, so one more time. Single wrapped on the end. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pinch over so it goes in the middle. And now we're going to pull this onto 7 sets of double white bands, or if you are doubling them over, you're going to need about 10 sets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just straightening this out a little as I go. 6 and 7. A really quick note here: if you are using doubled over singles, you're going to probably want to put a wire or paper clip or twist tie through the back at the end just to keep it a little bit stiffer, because they will curl up. Alright, so arms and legs are done. We're ready to go to the loom, and we'll start the layout for the body. We want 2 white bands, pinch them together and bring them from the top center to the second peg down in the center. 2 white bands from the second center to the second right, and 2 from the second center to the second left. 2 pink bands down from the second side to the third side, and repeat on the opposite side. In the middle, we're going to come down 2 more times with double white bands. So from the second peg to the third, and from the third peg to the fourth. And And then we're gonna come down 2 times with pink, double pink in the middle. On either side, we're coming down 4 times with double black bands, starting at the 3rd peg. I'm gonna make this just a little bit longer than it was on my original, as I said. So we're doing 4 sets instead of my original 3. Same thing for the other side. 1, 2, 3, and 4 sets. And let me just make sure I've got the right count for you for our number of pinks. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of double pinks coming down on either side. And this started at your 7th peg down. Repeat on the other side. And our middle row, we're going to switch to pink now, or continue with pink, I should say. And you're going to come down until just above the side. So 1 time, 2, 3, 4, 5 more sets. So in total, in the middle, you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sets of double pink. We're going to put our legs on and our arms on now. So the legs, you're going to take 2 pink bands, and you're going to put each of your legs, so 1 leg onto those 2, put it back on your hook, or just put it on the side for the moment. Let me think of the best way to do this. I'm going to transfer it to another hook just for a second. The other one is going to go onto 2 pinks. This is going to make it sort of blend in with the skirt a little better. And then you can put them back together here. And these are all going to go onto double pink bands. So take 2 pink bands together, bring the legs on top, and stretch it from the bottommost pink banded peg on the bottom, the last one you did, which is your 3rd up from the bottom of the loom. Stretch it across, get in between the feet, and you're going to bring it over that center bottom peg that we used. From here we'll need, actually we don't need a cap band. This will operate as our cap band. Let's put our arms on next. And you're just going to put it onto the 2nd peg down on either side. Slide it off of your hook. Try to angle it the way you want. So you might even want to sort of flip it on upside down if it's curving the wrong direction. Make sure you've got all your pieces on. I can see one of mine is loose, so let me grab that quickly here. Okay, we can add our extension for, well, we'll put on our holding bands and then we'll add our extension for the bottom. So we're going to use pink bands starting from the 4th peg up from the bottom of the loom. You're going to take a pink and just stretch it across in a triangle formation. So I think it's lawnmower season. So bring it across and bring it up over the center. You're going to do this again just above on the next set, and the next set, and the set above that. And then we're going to take a silver band and stretch it right across from one side to the other. Repeat that just above. Now, what you might want to do, what I think I'm going to do, is try and double these over. It's going to be kind of tight, but I want this to be a little bit tighter than it was in my original. So I'm going to stretch it, twist it, and bring it back across. We'll do this again on the next one. So now if you're counting down, this is the 4th one down on either side. You don't have to double this over. Like I said, I want to try this because I felt it was a little bit too loose on my original. But this is going to make the upper body tighter, so bear that in mind. Now on the top side here, your third pegs down, we're going to put a black band and then a gray band in a triangle formation, and then we'll do a black band across and a gray band on top of that, and that one I'm just going to leave loose here. Okay, so that is that. We'll put on our skirt chain, our side extension, and then we'll be ready to loop up this first part. So for the skirt, we have a chain of 5 double bands. That means you're going to take a single, wrap it 1, 2, 3 times, and pull it onto 5 sets of double bands. Two, 3, 4, and 5. And you're going to count down to your 7th peg down where the pink starts. And we'll place the bands that are on the hook onto that peg. And then what we're going to need to do is stretch this down so it reaches the bottom. So we're going to kind of start at the top. We'll pull this down a little, take a piece out of the chain, and bring it over the peg that's just below on the side. Okay, came off. So now it's sitting looped over this. It'll keep this snug to the body. Pull it down a little more and connect the next piece. Just grab any piece out of that chain. Do the same for the peg under that. Take one piece out of the next little section. And last time, take a little piece and pull it over that bottom one. And you're going to have this little lumpy part. Your cap band is going to sort of sit at the side here. And that's good. We want it to kind of curl up sideways. Let's do the other side now. A single wrap it 1, 2, 3 times. Pull it onto 5 sets of double bands. Attach on this, that was the 7th peg down, I believe, right where we started with our pink. We're going to stretch it down and put a little piece of each chain onto the pegs below. I think this time I'm going to actually start right at the bottom, and we'll connect that piece first, see if that helps. So I didn't put on the holding, like the last band. I went and took something out of the chain just above that. But you can start at the top or the bottom, just as long as that bottom little nubby, knotty lump is left sitting out. Alright, we are ready to loop up the body. So, let's just see what we did here. Okay, so we're going to start with the center, and we are going to go up to the 2nd peg from the top, but we have to do something a little special when we get to the gray bands, so don't jump too far ahead of me. If you go and look at the bottom of the loom, you're going to count up 1, 2, 3 in the center. Reach in, take the pink, and pull them forward, and loop forward until you are at the part with the gray, and then just stop right before that. Now what we're going to do here, usually I would just reach underneath and grab it, but we're going to make this a little bit easier. I'm going to pull the gray right off, loop forward, and bring the gray back across, because the idea is we want the gray to be sitting on top. We don't want the pink to cover over it. Now again, if you're feeling comfortable, if you can reach under and get it through, that's fine. Like I said, we're going to make this just a little easier by taking the gray crossover pieces off temporarily to bring the pink forward, and then you stretch it back. And this way we have them here, we don't forget to put them on. and it's not too bad. Pull it to the side, bring your pink upwards, pop your gray back over. And last time, these ones were just single, so easier to move to the side. In theory, let's bring this up once and twice and stop it there. And you'll remember to put these last pieces back on. Okay, we'll go back to the side and we're gonna loop up. You only want the bottom 2 bands in each set, and you can see they're coming from the pegs above. So you take the open part of your hook, point it up, press back, grab the bottom 2 and bring it forward onto the next peg. Push in, get the bottom 2, bring them up and forward. If you're not sure what they are, you can use your hook or your fingers, pull them to the side and get a better grasp or view of them that way. And all the way up the side, we're just going to loop straight forward. So push in, get your bottom blacks now, and just keep going. Now I'll try and remember, I want to make a note that if you do want black in your dress on the skirt, you can always add some in. Oh, I think one of my bands broke. Just a second, I'm going to put a new one in here. If you want while you're waiting, you're welcome to go ahead to the next part. We're going to be doing the same thing on the other side, so you can always get a head start on that. And I'll be caught up with you right away. Just get this back in place. A little easier said than done, I guess. Trying to do this without taking all the pieces off again. There we go. And the pink comes forward, and then you're going to reach inside and get the bottom 2 white and bring them to the center second peg. And let's loop up the opposite side. Bottom 2 pinks only. If you need to turn your loom around to see better, you can certainly do that. But we are basically just repeating what we did on the first side. And just as you go, keep an eye that nothing is coming loose, that nothing's popping off, that you're grabbing the right bands, and that you're grabbing 2 bands every time you loop forward. Otherwise, you're going to have problems later. It's nothing worse than going to all this trouble and having to do it again. Okay, and the bottom 2 whites. Again, you might want to turn this to an angle to see it better. You're going to go in the second peg down in the center, get the bottom 2 whites and bring them forward to the top center. Now hold on to the top bands or press down. We're going to ease the rest off the loom. And we just don't want to get those top center ones loose, but the rest can come off now. It's going to be a little tight with your silvers if you've doubled them over, so just be careful, be gentle. And what we do is we start at the top on the sides and ease our way down. And this keeps the bands from stretching and makes them less likely to snap. And it comes off a little more smoothly. And now we're going to go in at the top and get your hook through and gently remove the rest. Okay. So there we go. You can see it is a lot tighter on the upper body. That's okay. We're just going to stretch it out a little bit. And this part is ready to go. Now we can, I'm going to put this on another hook just so it's out of the way while we make our face and our hair chains. Okay. Alright, so for the upper body, for the face now, we're going to go back to our loom and choose the color you're going to use. I'm going to use purple again, but you can use blue or a different shade. 2 purple bands, 2 hair colored bands, top center to top right, top center to top left, once down in the middle, once down on either side, double bands each time. Now I'm switching to white for my facial color and coming down 3 times in the center with double bands. And on either side, I'll come down 2 more times, starting with the second peg down, using double whites again. Two bands from the 4th side to the 5th center, 2 bands from the 4th peg down on the other side to the center, and we're going to put on holding bands. I'm wondering, maybe we should make our face a little sharper. I think we will. We're going to, yeah, let's try this. Okay. So I'm actually going to put on one more set down the center, and we'll have our side pegs reach down to meet it. So from the 4th side to the 6th center. That'll give a little bit of a sharper cheekbone, I'm hoping. Okay, so let's put some holding bands on. I'm just going to do a single and stretch it across the 4th and 5th pegs in the center and the 4th pegs on either side. And on the 3rd pegs down. And just above that, the last set is the 2nd pegs down. Okay, so let's put on the eyes. And if you are using bands, what you'll do is you'll pick the color you'd like. I'll show you both ways. Wrap 1, 2, 3 times. Wrap your second eye 1, 2, 3 times and place it onto a white band. And this will go across your 3rd pegs down. So right across here. I'll show you how to adjust it in a minute. If you're using beads with a large hole, you can put them onto your hook and do the same thing. And if you are using beads with a smaller hole, what you will do is put them onto a thin wire or piece of floss. This is something I see on Kate Schultz's channel, is Delicious Designs. I really love this technique. It works wonderfully, and it's a great way to thread through. So you're going to put your thread or wire through your beads, through your band, and wrap it back over, come through the beads from the opposite direction. And we're going to carefully slide these on. Now these beads I probably could have put through my hook, but I wanted to show you this method as well. Okay, so whether you've used bands or beads, you're now going to take your white one and stretch it across from the 3rd peg down on the right to the 3rd peg down on the left. And you're going to get in between the beads, separate the band, and stretch it over the 3rd peg down in the center. We're ready to do our hair extensions, and then to add the body, and then to loop. So hair extensions, initially I just used a chain of 10 with 10 sets of double bands, but I'm going to do, like I said, a little bit thicker. So if you want just a 10, you're going to make a chain of 10 and attach it on the side here. And just the first couple of links you'll connect the way that we did with the skirt. To make the thicker hair, we're going to use 11 sets of double bands for the first chain, and we're going to make a secondary smaller chain. So take a single, wrap it about 4 times using your hair color, and we're going to take 2 bands together, slide it over, 2 bands together, slide it over, and we want a total of 11 links. So that was 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. And I'm just about out of room on my camera, so let me clear some space and I'll be right back. We will attach this right away. Okay, we're good to go. We have our link of 11 chains, or you can make it one shorter if you want to. I'm going to transfer the bands from my hook onto the top side peg, and I'm going to go into the next chain and pull it over the peg just below. I'm going to take a piece out of the next chain and put that onto the peg below that. And last time, grab a chain, pull it over the side. We're going to do this likewise for the opposite side. Looks like I had an old chain here from something else. Okay, single wrap up about, let's just see this here. I don't think I trust this band. This looks like it's gonna break soon. Put it aside. Okay, single wrap 1, 2, 3 times, and 11 sets of double bands. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. We'll pop this on the opposite side, so it goes onto the top side peg. And you're going to put all 4 of those loops on, and grab a section out of each of the next 3 chains to put over each of the next 3 pegs. Okay, so from here, just before we add the body, what I've got there will give you something a little bit like this, and these have been tucked in as well. I want to make it a little bit thicker on mine, so I'm going to put a second chain on either side. It's a single wrapped 3 times, and we're going to put it onto a chain of 6 double bands. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and attach this on the 4th peg coming down. So just pop it right on top. And same for the other side, single 1, 2, 3 on 6 double bands. So 1 set of 2, here's 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and opposite side on the 4th peg down. Now you can take the body, make sure that your upside is facing up, and transfer this to the 5th peg down where you place the last of your pegs for the face. And we're going to reach under that neck piece and find the top 2 bands and bring them this is hard to see. Let me stretch I'm going to stretch the neck down a little bit better. Okay, so the top ones under there are going to be going, I think these are ones that are going up, aren't they? Just trying to get a good grab here. Okay, let's stretch that whole neck piece under. I don't really like stretching the bands, but make it a bit easier to see this here. So this one is coming from on top. We want the ones that are coming from the left side. Those are the next ones, and we're going to bring them back up to the 4th peg from the side. And then let me reach in again and stretch everything back to its proper place. And we want the next ones are going to go up to the right side, and the last ones are going forward. And they did get a little stretchy here. I'm going to go forward again, so push back and get only the bottom 2. We had that triangle coming down there. I'm going to loosen up the neck here, take some tension off, and I'm going to loop up the face right through the center 2 or 3 more times. 3 more times. Right to the top. And on either side, what we're going to do is reach through and get the bottom whites and bring them forward. reach through, get the bottom white, bring it forward, and the last set is double purples. You're going to go inside again and bring your bottom two up into the center. And we need to repeat this all on the opposite side. Push back everything but the bottom two white, everything but the bottom two white. I've only grabbed one there, so let me go back again. And last set is double purples. And we have double purples coming from the top side to the top center. Whew, okay. Take a single purple or hair colored band, get it ready on your left hand, and with your right hand you're going to take your hook, push it through the bands on the top center peg, so right through. Grab your hair colored securing band, slide it up, and when you reach the top you can turn your hook so the open part is facing up again. Put your other side on and pull one end over the other to create a slip knot. Now hold on to that piece or put it on a hook or a C-clip, and we're gonna take the rest of this off of the loom. Okay, you want to kind of press your eyes out towards the front. I'm gonna take my securing band and hide it in the back, so I'm turning to the back. I'm putting my hook through a couple of nearby bands. I'm going to grab the securing band and pull it through, and then place this onto a C-clip. And I'm going to bring this under, I've got a loose band here I'm going to hide, and I want to put this under another nearby band just to keep it kind of snug. It's not flopping about. Okay, so next up, if you want to secure your arms, keep them kind of steady. What we can, what order did I do this in? We'll do the belt next. Okay, let's do the belt next. So for the belt, if you want to use bands, what you can do is take a single, wrap it 3 times, and put it onto a single band. Put the other end back on, and you're going to do this 5 times. If you're using beads, you're doing about the same thing, but we're going to be putting the beads on instead of the bands. And I'm going to use my floss again for this. Now if you want more than 5, you can do that. If your beads are smaller or your bands are thinner, you might want more pieces. I'm just going to do the 5 because these are all really thick and really large beads. So what I do is I bring a bead on, same method I used for the eyes. Put one end and one end onto the hook. And then I'm going to repeat until I have 5 of these. So I'll try and do this quickly for your sake. Through the band, back over and back through the bead. This is just, it's a really efficient way of threading. It makes it a lot faster. So that's 2. This will be my 3rd one. And 4. And just keep sliding those down on your hook. And last one, although as I said, you're welcome to do more. Okay, right to the middle. And now we need a piece to slide these all onto to bring it around. So I'm going to take 2 grays, and one is going to go, let's do this on the hook here. Sorry, silver. My silvers are kind of thicker. So I'm going to put one onto my hook, one on the end. I'm going to slide the one that's on the hook over, place the other end and pull one side over the other. So now we have a knot. This can sit at the end of the hook, and we're going to slide all of our new pieces over, all of our little belt pieces. Let's try that again. Hold it tight, put it on the end, and carefully press these over. So this wraps right around to the back of Spectra's little body. And at the back, you're going to catch the opposite end and just slide one side, the further side, over the closer side on the hook, so that we can make a slip knot here. And you can pull everything down to where you want it in the front. And then looking at the back, I'm just going to go under a nearby band, catch it through, and put this on a C-clip. And that way it will sit close to the body and it's not going to shift around too much. Get my C-clip sitting there, and we'll straighten out the little beads. Okay, if you want the arms to sit snugger to the body or the hair to sit snugger, what we do is we go to the back, we take a little piece from the arm, a little piece from the body, slide it through, pop it on a C-clip. And I'm actually just going to weave this in a little bit to where we have our C-clip sitting already. So I'm going to grab one of these loops, pull it through, and pop it on the C-clip. And you don't have to do this part, it's just, it makes it look a little bit neater. I'm going to do this for the other side. So I'm going to go through the body at about the same spot. Grab a piece of the arm. You might have to try this a couple of times till you get the right fit. Pull it under the body piece, and we're going to weave this in under a couple of pieces. This is the back of holding her upside down though, sorry. Just makes it a little bit of a better angle because I'm coming in from the right here. And I'm bringing it under some nearby bands until it can reach the center and the C-clip. Now for the hair, if you want that to sit tighter together, what you can do is go through one or both chains at the back again. Just going to go under one or two pieces here. Grab a piece out of the body, all the way to the other side. And I'm just going to take a purple band, although it could be a clear band or a different color band as well, and slide it through everything. You can see it sort of holds it all together. And loosen that up a little bit, pop that on the C-clip that I've got here already. If you're having a hard time with this, you don't have to do this part, or you can do it a little differently. I just like the hair to sit kind of closer together. And you can do the same higher up if you want to close these gaps. You can always go through at the back and kind of cinch them together. Make it a little bit tighter there. Okay, so the only other thing to do, I think, is make sure your eyes are popped through. And if you have used beads and you want to add a dark pupil, you can get a black Sharpie marker and draw on your center mark. So I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. And there is your Spectra. I've got, who do I have ready? I have Cleo. Cleo is out on the channel, as well as Hide Hold. So please be sure to check out some of my other videos, and I thank you for watching.